Good ball. Grayson. It goes towards Overrun. Brilliant save indeed. Walsh has scored. Leicester City are in dreamland now. Vardy in the middle. This could be a huge moment. Vardy scored. And it's pandemonium in Leicester.
Mahrez with his left. Albrighton with his right. It is Mahrez. It's a good ball in. Morgan's there. It's in. Leicester City score. It is a captain's goal from Wes Morgan, who lifted the Premier League trophy in May. He might have played a big part now in taking Leicester City through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Lift the trophy to the skies. Leicester City are the champions of the Premier League. 5,000 to 1.
Hello and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for the fixture reveal, Championship fixtures 25-26. There's loads of people in here already. Make sure to keep getting your comments in. Let us know who you want to see Leicester face first, because it looks like we already know. And we'll mention what the rumour is. It is just a rumour, but the fixtures officially are announced at 12 o'clock. Before we get into it, Neil, how are you, mate? Nice T-shirt, mate.
I was going to say, don't buy yourself a Leicester City one. Buy the fast Twitch one hasn't arrived yet, but hopefully it will do soon. So all good. Doing good. Although, what is going on with Leicester? We'll obviously talk about that later. But it's insane. But it's starting to feel exciting. The new season is upon us.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Doc, how are you, mate? What's going on with you?
I'm feeling great. Just look at the panel we have here today. The Champions League lineup, essentially, for the fixture reveal. It's going to be fantastic. I have summer vacation from uni as well, so time to think about Leicester. And I want to say this as well. The EFL has just updated its website, removed the teams from before, so Leicester will be added in 15 minutes, and that could also mean we find out if we have an embargo or not, I think.
Scary. Manny, what's going on, mate? Do I sense a BTG t-shirt there as well?
And Neil's known as a man of style.
Kumar as well as,
If you can't beat them, join them. Do you know
same
what?
One.
It feels good. It feels nice as well. It feels very nice against the skin. I'm glad we went for the quality options, not the cheapo rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, well, everybody in the chat, get your prediction. I say prediction. Who do you want to see Leicester face on the opening day? We will say the rumour doing the rounds is it is Sheffield Wednesday, which would be very interesting if a certain Danny Roll ended up at Leicester in the dugout. But that is the rumour that it is Sheffield Wednesday, but there is no confirmation of that, of course. These things get announced. These things get confirmed a lot earlier than 12 o'clock, like probably yesterday or I don't know when. It's just as an embargo until 12 o'clock. So someone out there knows, and the rumour is it is Wednesday. Anil, forget that we know it's forget that we think it's Wednesday. Who would you have liked to have seen, or who would you like to see Leicester City play on the first day of the season?
Do you know, I would have liked Wrexham, to be honest with you. But maybe at home at the King Power, just to duff them up early. But I think unlike the Premier League, any game, to be honest with you. Maybe you'd want to avoid Ipswich for the first one, but I've got a feeling that they wouldn't allow something like that anyway, because normally they want to wait a little bit for the big fixtures. But look, I think even though the club is in an absolute shambles right now, you fancy a chance against anyone in this division. So for that reason, I think, bring it on.
Yeah.
Doc, somebody put a comment here. Freddie said Cov. Well, that was the first game last time we played in the Championship, and it was a good game as well. 2-1 win, right? Dewsbury Hall brace, first competitive game under Enzo. That was like the game where we were like, okay, this guy Dewsbury Hall, he's going to step up this season and try and take
really
us back.
in that game.
But who would you like to see?
I think, if we got Wrexham at home first game, we'll be having a full Welcome to Wrexham episode, just building up to that one game ahead of the season. And it will be brilliant for marketing reasons, right? I think I would like QPR. I have some mates who I play football manager with who are big QPR fans. They've lost Mati Cifuentes. They're going to be in the mud, clap them 3-4-0, get the confidence brewing. And I get to talk shit to them every week. I play FM with them for, months. It would be brilliant. And I think it would be a good start for the team as well to just, in cruise control, dominate a game, get some goals, get some confidence, because we're thoroughly lacking that.
Manny, there's loads of teams being mentioned in the chat. I'm seeing Portsmouth, Coventry, Wrexham, Blackburn, the rumoured one, Sheffield Wednesday. Who would you like to see on the first game?
My sort of personality is a 0.1% type of guy, so I'm always looking for the very best chance that we have to get promoted. So I don't know who I do want, but I can sort of identify easily who I don't want. So I don't want anyone with momentum. So if you've come up from League One, I don't want you. I don't want you bringing that feel-good factor that you had over the summer. You know, you've probably signed a few new players. Everyone's super pumped. The crowd will be up for it. So I don't want anyone like Wrexham or Birmingham or whoever else came up as well. I don't really want anyone who came down because I want to see how they're playing, how they're, Southampton are going to change manager again. I want to have a bit more info about my rivals before I play them. So I want a boring fixture, someone who's not changed their manager, because new manager bounce is possible as well. So any club out there who's got a new manager this summer, I don't want to play them. So if I really want a proper answer, but I just cannot be bothered to go through the whole fixture table to work out who, but any club who's had a boring nothing summer.
Preston North End would be your bet, right? Like I think they haven't changed anything. They've gotten Deng Leverson in goal. They're a nothing.
They're sponsored by Spud Bros as well. Their new sponsor.
It doesn't actually look so bad. It doesn't actually look all too bad. And I will say, Spud Bros inspired me to try making it at home in Denmark, and it's actually quite good.
But that's the point. Is just pick someone that gives you the best chance to get to 3 points, because I think that first fixture is quite crucial. You know, we struggled in that Coventry game as well, I seem to remember. But we got through it, right, didn't we? And that just gave you that mentality that we can play badly and already win. It just gets that train start moving, and I just want to start for 3 points.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's predictions for bottom of the league this season is Sheffield Wednesday because of the transfer embargoes. The manager is leaving, so I would love them. That would be a big one for us. I think, that is the rumoured one as well. I'm not just saying this because that is the rumoured one. I'm saying it because they are in the mud, well and truly. There is no club, even us, we're not in the mud as much as they are. They are in big trouble. So I would love to see them. And, Anil, like Manny said he doesn't want anyone with momentum. Just get a win first game of the season, no matter who the manager is. I don't really care at this point. Just get a win on the board first game.
That's true, but you know what? I do have this sort of weird feeling that if we're in a complete and utter state, you might actually be better having the bigger games because it kind of rallies the team a little bit. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be, Mr. Depressing right away, but if we go in with unknown manager, or we don't know what's going on, then we got teams that we're expected to beat, and then we muck it up because it's just a shambles.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you start with two, I actually think Manny's kind of right, but I think the Coventry game last time around was good for a few reasons. They'd only just missed out on the playoffs, right? And they were a good team, and they showed when they rocked up at the King Power. I was actually at that game. That's one of the last few games I went to at the King Power, and they played pretty good. They probably should have been 2 up actually in the second half, and then Dewsbury Hall turned it around. But I think there was something to it that even the fans, we hadn't played Coventry for a while. There was something to kind of rally you. So. My fear is just we play someone who's considered easy pickings, and we just, self-implode, and it all goes a bit Pete Tong. So a bit worried, but I do agree we need to get off a good start. Last time we did it, but the contrast between last season and this season couldn't be more, could they, off the pitch?
We did. The only hope that I have with that is that we did play. We were rubbish last season. In the middle of our bad run, we did play QPR in that cup game and gave them a bit of a high.
Yeah.
And then the back end of the season, we played stronger teams in the Championship in Saints and Ipswich, and we won those 2 as well. So a lot depends on who we lose, who we sign, and the rest of it. But definitely avoid those League One teams. I would love it from a BTG point of view because the build-up would be brilliant. If we had Birmingham or Wrexham first game, that would be awesome for us.
Birmingham, mate, they're relevant.
But you just see, it's like a team that goes up into the Premier League. If they get you at home first game, I seem to remember, I think Brentford beat Arsenal first game that they played them at home. It's just one of those things that. Play them when they've had a few beatings and the stuffing's been taken out of the crowd a little bit.
When it's lost the hype, right? Not the hype essentially, but when it's lost this novelty of first game back in the Championship in ages. Just how when we came back up, we got Tottenham at home, right? And we fancied that game because we just played brilliantly in the Championship, even if it was Cooper at the wheel, and we managed to get a draw at that game, right?
You imagine it the reverse. If you're Wrexham
Yeah.
or Birmingham at home,
Exactly.
you fancy anybody. You're like,
Exactly.
bring it,
That's
and
what I'm
bring.
saying.
You have that bring it on mentality, and
Like it would be the
that
reverse
worries
of
me.
it, right? But we would be the team coming in with not that much momentum, kind of licking our wounds. Maybe we have just been spanked by Fiorentina before at the King Power. Who knows, depending on what happens, right? I think it's embarrassing. We're sitting here saying, who knows what happened, because nothing has happened and we're almost in July. But that's just
true,
the name
but-
of the game.
Like Anil said, though, if you do get a challenge first game and you overcome that challenge, then wow, you really have some momentum to build upon. So you can spin it whichever way you want. Just get a win the first game is crucial.
Yeah.
But I just like this. It's like the first round in a tournament. Just give me a nice easy warm up to get going, and I'll build momentum as the tournament progresses.
England versus Panama 2018 World
Yeah,
Cup.
give me something like that. That'll
Jesse
do.
Lingard scoring the goals is like,
Give me
okay, you can have a good tournament.
A Harry Kane hat trick, 2 penalties, and 1 inside 3 yards. That'll do.
But on the flip side, well, I was going to say on the flip side, I know this season in the Premier League it didn't really matter, but we had Spurs first game and we had a positive result against Spurs. Like if we had a Wrexham or I don't know, let's look at the teams around us, who came down, Southampton or Ipswich. If we had one of them teams and we won, that would then give people confidence that we'll be doing okay this season until the points deductions hit, of course. I just want to quickly, we've got 3 minutes. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this quickly. The latest article from the Telegraph, Anil, said that if Van Nistelrooy is to leave next week, it's unclear who will take pre-season. Barry Murphy gone. The goalkeeper coach expected to join Brighton. Club favourite Andy King is one possibility as an interim manager. Leicester and King Power have declined to comment. I mean, can you imagine it, Anil, on Monday morning when the players are back for pre-season testing? We should know, even though an announcement might not come till, I don't know, Tuesday, if the rumours to be believed. If Rude isn't there on Monday, you kind of know he's gone, and it might be Andy King taking training. It's a farce, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an interesting one for the panel. I think I'd still prefer Andy King than Sean Dyche, to be honest with you. Sorry, I would.
I don't think we have the required information to say so about it. But I think the general fact is, the fact that he knows our culture, we know what kind of person he is. That would obviously give a lot of bonus points, right? Because if there's one thing in these trying times you're going back to, right, it's the roots, it's the identity that Leicester have created. And, King was a big part of that during our glory days. So I can definitely understand the initial want. I still think there are probably better managers out there, but I would agree. I'd be open to see him, give him a chance, because why not, man? Like, why not?
Yeah, but the third time that, can you imagine? Oh, mate, can you imagine? John Rudkin is leading training today. Fuck.
John Rudkin's blue and white army.
He's done it before. Yeah, we've got. Yeah, I don't think Anil's saying Andy King's ready. No one's saying Andy King's ready. We're also, we don't want Andy King as manager, but I mean, some of the options out there. Chris,
I can make a case. I can make a case for you for Andy King. You've got
30 seconds. You've got 30 seconds.
Barcelona have been promoting from youth within. Yeah. Guardiola himself was like 34, 35, got the Barcelona job. Zidane got the Real Madrid job, wins Champions Leagues. So if you were a manager spends the first bit of time learning about the club. Rude himself didn't know that Danny Ward was a stinker. Andy King knows this club inside out. That's already done. He knows exactly how to play in different kinds of ways.
Okay, time's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fixtures are coming. The fixtures are coming. The fixtures are coming.
Yeah, don't worry, man. I'm reading the myself. Can you?
Here we go. Yep. So Leicester's first fixture. I'll share it on screen as soon as it's announced. Just refreshing. As always, Leicester is slow. They should have done this at 12 o'clock.
Oh, have they not posted it yet?
This is not going to come on, I don't think, at 12:01. But I've got.
Will it not be on Sky?
I've got Sky Sports News on the background.
Yeah.
So if I see it pop up, I'll let you know. But yeah, I mean,
this is shocking. Why weren't they ready? Bang on, they were last
Sky, on Sky. It's coming through
wait
right
is
now.
over. I'm checking the full fixture release right now. I have the link from EFL. So let's take a look here. TV selection still to be announced. Yeah. Why does it say nothing at all?
Confirmed leak.
Key dates and the new campaign. First.
I think the age thing. Like, wasn't that guy Carlos Cuesta's got a job at 29? Fabian Hertzler's got the got in Brighton
we are-
job at
we're playing
31. How old?
Sheffield-
Andy King's like 30. He's an old man
Manny,
compared
shut
to
up.
those
We
two.
are playing Sheffield
Past it.
Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday at home, Sunday the 10th of August at 17:30 p.m. That would be for my time, so that'll be 4:30 for you guys. The opening
Every game's on
fixture is
TV.
Birmingham. The opening game is obviously Birmingham against Ipswich, so the league seems to be completely correct. I hadn't looked at the other fixtures. Wrexham will be playing away to Southampton. Any other standout fixtures? There is a battle of mid between Queen's Park Rangers and Preston North End. And yeah, I mean, Blackburn versus West Brom should be an okay game. Sheffield against Bristol City. But yeah, we round out the days. We're the only team playing
Here
on
we go.
Sunday, so that means
Yeah,
TV
bring it up.
as
It's on the site now. The whole
Yep.
thing. The whole shebang.
Bringing it up now. Okay. Let me move thingy so we can actually see Doc's beautiful face. There we go. Okay. So, Leicester to host Sheffield Wednesday in Championship opener. Our 25-26 Championship campaign will begin with a home fixture at the King Power Stadium against Sheffield Wednesday, live on Sky Sports, Sunday, 10th of August, 4:30. Here we go. Okay, so the first month, August, we have Sheffield Wednesday at home, Preston away, Charlton away, and Birmingham at home. So there we go.
good.
That is the month of August. What do you think to that? Well, actually, no, let's go through some more. September, we've got Oxford away, Coventry at home, West Brom away, and Wrexham at home. So there is the first one with Wrexham,
month.
Tuesday, the 30th of September, 7:45 kickoff at the King Power Stadium. Into October, Swansea City away, Portsmouth at home, Hull City away, and Millwall away. Into November, we have got Blackburn at home, Middlesbrough at home, Norwich away, Stoke at home, Southampton away.
You're starting to sound like the guy who does the teleprompter.
Sheffield United at home as well, sorry, on the 29th. So let's look at the Christmas
That's the first time we play, like, I would say, two of the real promotion phases.
back to back.
Yeah, maybe Birmingham as well, but those two, I mean, Sheffield United got 90
We
plus
haven't
points,
played
didn't they?
Ipswich yet, right? Like that's the
No, that's it.
Just like last time, that was the Boxing Day fixture. That was the first time
I
we
bet
played.
it happens again. Can you imagine?
Well,
Can you
yeah.
scroll down to December? Can you take
Yeah,
December
we're
up?
doing that now. Yeah, we're doing that now. So December. So 6th of December, Derby away. 10th of December, Bristol away. 13th of December, Ipswich at home. 20th of December, Queen's Park Rangers away. And Boxing Day fixture this year will be Watford at home. A home game on Boxing Day. And the last fixture of the year, the 29th of December, is Derby County. There we go. There's another big one for you. Derby County at home. Into January, New Year's Day, Sheffield United away, West Brom at home, Coventry City away, Wrexham away on Tuesday the 20th of January, Oxford United at home, Charlton Athletic at home. Into February, Birmingham City away. That'll be a good one. On Valentine's Day, for those people out there in a relationship, Southampton at home. There's an excuse to leave the house, get away from the missus. 21st of February, Stoke City away, Middlesbrough away, and Norwich City at home on the last day of February. Into March, Ipswich away, Bristol City at home, Queen's Park Rangers at home, and Watford away. April is Preston at home, Sheffield Wednesday away, Swansea City away, Portsmouth away, Hull City at home, and Millwall at home. And let's see the end to the season, what type
It's
of
the
end
same
we're going
as
to
last
get.
time.
Oh, is it just one game? One game, Blackburn away. So the last 5 fixtures there are Swansea away, Portsmouth away, Hull home, Millwall home, and Blackburn Rovers away. So let's go back to the start, Anil. I'm going to come to you first, mate. What do you make to that start to the season? Sheffield Wednesday, Preston, Charlton, and Birmingham.
I mean, that's pretty reasonable. I think you couldn't really ask for much better than that. Birmingham will be the ones with momentum, but we have them at home. Maybe the one spanner in the works is the window will still be open, I believe, right? Because it closes in September. So it might still be a bit of havoc. But I mean, that's 3 very kind fixtures. I mean, Charlton have just come off as well. They will have some momentum, but I think they're the weakest of the teams coming up. The first 2 are in pretty bad state. So the one thing that worries me is it a banana skin that we've got a fairly easy set of fixtures? That's my initial take on it. But I think it's better than last year, if you ask me.
They're
last
brilliant.
time we were in the Championship.
If I could just shortly, like I think with these fixtures are perfect, right? We are so slow to getting a manager in. The first 3 fixtures should be, easy wins on paper, get the momentum flowing, get some confidence back, learn the new manager style, and then you get into some tough fixtures, right? Birmingham, who knows how that transfer window goes? They could be a team to look out for, and then obviously, right, Coventry City, they are a decent side, and it gets a bit more tougher in September. And then you have the tough fixtures in between. But then I'm looking at how do we round off the season as well. And once we've played, Ipswich, and I think Bristol could be decent as well, we have a very good April month, I want to say. Millwall is at home, so it's not away, that scary fixture that, Chilwell at the very least didn't like to play again. I think I like our opening is easy. I like our ending is relatively easy as well. Like, I think if we need to just lock in and get the points, those things are massive. In particular, the fact that we haven't got a manager in place yet, that we are allowed to fail a bit, you can say, because I think we can play at maybe 70% and still confident beat Sheffield Wednesday with all the mud they're in. So we need to build that momentum, need the manager to get time to adapt, and then we can play, your Coventry Cities, your Birminghams, your West Broms, and whatever, right? So, yeah, I think this is a really good program, and a lot of people don't really look much into this, but I think, the strength of schedule should definitely be analyzed in terms of how the season progresses. Because, I think that's a recipe for success.
Manny, you can see on the screen there all of the fixtures on display. What are you making to these, mate?
First thing I always look at, first 3 games, last 3 games. First 3 games look good. Last 3 games, Blackburn away. Sorry, that could be tricky last game, but there's a fair chance they might not even be playing for anything. Blackburn might find themselves in sort of nowhere's land. So that's good. Hull at home, Millwall at home, that's good. And then the next bit I always look at is when the fixture list congests and you're playing every 3 days around December, January time. That's a tricky time potentially if you're trying to get momentum and that's actually quite tricky. It looks like we've got Derby at home, which is banging. That's a fantastic fixture. A few days later, Sheffield United away, tricky. And then a few days later, West Brom. We always seem to get over the line, but struggle a bit against West Brom in the game. I think they played pretty well in the 2 games against Lorenzo.
Lucky to win 2-1 both times.
And then straight after West Brom, if you look at January, the 17th is Coventry away, Wrexham away. So, building works. I'm going to get off.
If I can tag on to Manny's point there, I think he's right. But for me, I think at that point, we should be a well-oiled machine. And if we're in good form, we'll be able to... If we get over that hump and you then look towards the fixtures from, let's just say the Oxford home game, after you've done the Wrexham away and you've done well, you've only realistically got Southampton and Ipswich as the 2 toughest fixtures remaining all the way until May. So I completely agree with many that if we are in poor shape at that time, it's obviously a chance for us to really be knocked down a peg and lose, maybe a lot of the promotion hope that we have. But at the same time, I think we should have had enough time by then to be a well-oiled machine. And if things don't go right at the beginning of January, well, for the Coventry Wrexham game, we could have spent 5-10 million on a few more players, right? And then all of a sudden, there's the fresh morale boost, and you can batter Coventry at their little stadium, and then you can go to the race course and batter Disney FC as well.
If you look though, set that centre of the season, January, February, and just the first game in March, that is going to be our season. We're playing our rivals a lot. That's crucial time. What do you think, Anil?
I was going to say to Anil, because somebody put February as the hardest month. I think it's February, Anil, or November. November just because of the number of games, but also you've got Southampton and Sheffield United in there as well. So, yeah, what do you think?
I was agreeing with Manny. I think January looks a bit more trickier to me because, as you say, the games come thick and fast, and you've got Sheffield United are going to be up there, Coventry going to be up there, Wrexham. I don't know. At the same time, you look at it, and the one thing about the Championship is you look at it, and if I'm being, it's going to sound so arrogant, but there isn't really a single period where you're thinking, "Oh,
of course not," right? I mean,
maybe the end of November you've got Southampton, then Sheffield United,
and then Derby.
They're not coming up too much later after that, but there isn't a single patch where I'm thinking, "Oh God, we've had it here." It's pretty kind to us. I think
saying we should. It's okay we lose depending on how they play. Of course, would be Ipswich away and Southampton away. Those are like on paper the toughest.
We just beat those. We just beat those 2 recently as well. You know what I mean? So
I don't want to say away we comfortably beat them, but at home we comfortably beat them with Ruud van Nistelrooy at the helm, of course, right? So
who actually worries you guys when you look at that list? Who do you think? Do you know
no
what?
one worries. The only thing that worries us is us. Like, we are our own worst enemy because Leicester is in the fucking mud. But none of these teams are scary. I want to say this in January as well. the fixtures do come thick and fast. But take a look at the break between the West Brom game and Coventry. Like, if you did lose the West Brom game, you've got 2 weeks to reset. There's probably like a national whatever, right? Or some break or whatever scheduled. You can get a new signing in. The players can regroup. If the December period's been tough, just before Coventry away, like the whole team gets back together. And I think, we are our worst own enemy. There is no team here I realistically fear. I only fear how shit we're being run at the moment. And obviously,
all I see is Mavadini to Fatawu and Monga murdering these teams.
They'll murder them all. Then you get Will Albers from the bench. You've got, a lot of other young talents in there as well who can come on and play their part. Like, maybe even I shouldn't say this because he was shit last time we were here, but Patson Daka would score 10 goals in this league, man. I don't think he did that last time, to be honest, with the game time he got. But like, start him up against Sheffield Wednesday and he'll score a goal, I guarantee you.
Let's just look at some of the comments here in the chat from people. So Kiernan says, or Ahmed, I think this is actually, January is hell. These first 4 games are tough. Daz says, all things considered, there's a good start for
really
us.
Good start, yeah.
What do you make to this, Anil? Ragsy says, we need to be ready for the first game. Fixtures have been kind to us. Our biggest threat is KP's lack of preparation this summer and the point seduction. I mean, Doc said it, Anil. We are our own worst, we are our own biggest enemy here. You know what I mean?
If you bring up this graphic, the thing that worries me the most is right at the very bottom of that picture. If you just zoom in a little bit, you just see the CES, that one. That is the organization that I fear the most. Yeah. That is the one that I feel could completely derail our season. Because, I mean, look at the fixtures and it's exciting. Look how many people are in here. We're all excited for the new season and what's going to happen. There's already some tasty games. We haven't played Derby in a long time. That'll be a fun one to see those ones. And a nice start as well. But, what is going on with the club? Maybe we should go through some of the rumours. But, I mean, if we're starting the season and it's Andy King as caretaker manager and it's no coaching team and the players all want out, that's what worries me. Is it going to be a case of like that first game of Sky Sports and it's like, and it's a battle of the 2 worst run clubs in the country. It's Sheffield Wednesday who can't pay their own players, whereas Leicester City, if their owners have gone bankrupt and they don't have any coaching staff. Which one of these clowns will come on top? I don't know. There's unfortunately that reality of doing it. But yeah,
El Gashiko is back. We're not with Southampton this year, though. It's with Wednesday.
It will be. But with the players we've got, we should do well. But, even mentioning Mavadidi, I mean, he had that thing on social media, didn't he, with him, setting Premier League standards. So he's obviously trying to get a move away. Let's see where it is.
Yeah.
Go on, Doc. I think you were going to say something.
No. Go on, Lux.
Well, I was just going to say, the longer it goes on, because look, it's a relative. I mean, I say relatively. Birmingham, I'm slightly worried of this season because it's kind of like unpredictable. You just don't know whether they're going to come up and do an Ipswich or come up and just mid-table or just safety, whatever. I think they'll do pretty well, but. It's a good start there. You just want us to be prepared for it. You want us to have a manager and plenty of time in pre-season to work with the squad. We want to know what's happening with the future of some of these players. And at the moment, there's nothing. The rumours, as we've been saying for 6 weeks, the rumours is 1st of July. It's going to be some trigger event and everything's going to start happening from Tuesday. It's got to come. Manny, I'm going to come to you actually, mate, because I don't know why you keep saying, oh, well, it's still pretty early in the summer. It's like pre-season starts in 5 days.
We're still feeling it. We've been battered last season, right? And losing becomes a habit and your mentality of losing becomes a habit. And you think it's all just, the worst run football club in the world or whatever. But it's just not. It's just not. We went down to the Championship last time and we hosed it. And when I look at these fixtures, it's just a reminder that as bad as we can be, these teams are just worse than us. Their budgets are nothing compared to ours. I mean, West Brom can spend like £2-3 million an entire summer. Last time we went down, we spent 38. We might not spend 38 this time, but even if we spend 15, that's money that these
38?
teams... We spent 38 last time.
Surely we didn't, right? Who did we spend all that on?
Anyway,
I just wanted to just the comments here to the post. So can you announce our manager at all, lads, or anything which is going on at the club? Whoever loses the opening game gets the title of the worst ranked club in England, right? Grim as fuck. This is unpredictable. I don't know what's going to come up next. Can't believe I'm looking at this. Yeah, and then the club obviously shared that thing from
last time we went down. I was worried. I thought, the usual thing. The Championship is a slog. 46 games, lots of tricky fixtures. Places you don't want to go to in November, December, January. I thought all of that, and then I started watching the games. Like, we played rubbish and won. We played rubbish and won. Yeah. We played good and then smashed them. It's the standards just weren't that great, and for the odd team that did do well, like
but
Leeds,
we're in the mud this time. We're worse this time.
Leeds lost £100 million worth of players, and then got even more points the following season.
Yeah, but they also spent £30 million. Oh, so yeah, they spent money as well.
There we go.
Yeah,
so if we do sell £100 million worth of players, which we kind of maybe expecting somewhere in that ballpark, but we can spend 20 to 30 of that, I still think we've got enough to go up. If we lost,
but every source, every journalist, every source, everybody, anyone who reports on Leicester, who is close to the club in some way, shape, or form, is saying the same thing: that Leicester will not be able to spend like they did last time they were relegated.
Our current squad's good enough.
What if that doesn't matter? Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to see a scenario here. But we do go into game one, and it is Andy King in charge. And I don't know, Mark Albrighton is assistant manager or something stupid like that, right? Vardy's back as player coach, and we win. And then we play Preston North End, and we win again. And Jerry Monger scored, and Jake Evans has come off the bench. And hang on a minute, all of a sudden there's a bit of a feel-good factor. Charlton's next. 89th minute winner.
Keep going. I'm feeling it.
Patel cuts in on his
left. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Keep going. To Andy King. They're going mad.
Everyone go on, Duck. Go on, Duck. Bring the mood down, Duck. Bring the mood down, Duck.
The thing that I really want to just think back. Last time we got relegated on the final day of the Premier League season. We had a manager at the middle of June. This time we got relegated in April. We still don't have a manager. We sold for 70-something million quid before January 30th. We sold medicine. We had sold this. We sold that, and June 30th. Yeah, and we had gotten ready, and transfers. I don't want to say lined up, but some transfers happened pretty soon after.
Winks, Cody.
Yeah, like they were lined up.
Mavididi came in earlier. Mads came in early. Yeah.
This time, nothing. We have had nothing happening. We have no info. Nothing going on. We are not well run. I still think, though, that the youth that we have, and if we keep some of our core talent, we should, with a mediocre manager, be able to just vibe-based, still battle for promotion, depending on the point deduction. But it will not be as big of a cakewalk, not because the competition is tougher, but because we have stooped closer to that level, because we've been run so incompetently or so horribly by our owners.
I get that point, but if I asked you guys now, let's say we signed 0 players this summer and we still lost Bilal, Ndidi and Hermansen, which we think are going to be the 3 that were most likely to go. Have we got time to go through a first starting 11 if we sign nobody? We got time to do that?
Yeah, but we don't know because we don't know who's going. We don't know who's staying.
Let's just work on the assumption that we lose our 3 big stars, and then that's enough to satisfy PSR. But with an embargo, we can't sign anybody.
So you're looking at Jakub Stolarczyk in goal.
Good.
You're looking at Ricardo Pereira right back.
Good.
We're talking. Well, we know Connor Cody's leaving, so let's say Fass and Vestergaard. Right.
Ben Nelson.
Or Nelson.
Nelson and Okoli. They would be my 2 starters for sure.
Yeah, but Okoli's going to go, man.
Okay, then let's say if Okoli goes, then you're starting to get into the territory where you've got enough money to actually buy a replacement. That's over the PSR requirements. So now, assuming there's no embargo, of course, but even if there was no embargo, we'd still have Wout Fast. That's good enough to get you up. He's already done it once. Even Vestergaard's good enough to get you up. He's done that before too.
There's one thing you're forgetting here, though. You've got to think that we're getting a points deduction money.
Yeah,
we're getting a points deduction.
Look at the difference between 3rd and 6th, or whatever it is, or 2nd and 6th. Even with a points deduction, we're getting in the playoffs with our current squad. And then in the playoffs, we might not go for the playoffs again.
You're definitely right about the playoffs, but I was going to say, weirdly enough, by the way, I totally agree with Duck. The club is an absolute shambles. We all know it. It's a farce. There's no other way of saying it, right? But weirdly enough, right, what I'm saying is sometimes in football, it is more about the narrative and the story and the feeling. And weirdly enough, the last time we were in the Championship, even though it felt bad, us sort of like slightly throwing away everything and bottling it towards the end actually made the end of the season more exciting, because probably by January it was kind of boring. We're like running away with it. Like the weird thing about this season is that it might well be a case where, especially as we start hitting March, where like every single time you get a win, you're literally moving up one position in the table. You're going 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th. Will they do it? Will Leicester sneak into the playoffs with one game to go because they've got minus 16 points or something like that? You know, and it might be that we need the siege mentality. There are some sort of things. I don't know. Like, I'm starting to see that like it might be a case of like, can we get up despite the fact that we've been run in the most incompetent way possible, rather than it being a sort of smooth operation. And weirdly enough, it becomes a fun season because of it. Maybe I'm just getting sort of too romantic about what could happen, but I don't know. The season could be a disaster, or it could actually be one of those that, despite everything on paper being clueless, it somehow turns out to be really good.
I quickly want to say this as well. The EFL website is now completely updated, with Leicester now being at the bottom of the page as one of the teams. I'm under the embargoes page, and there is still only one current embargo against Sheffield Wednesday. So
yeah, we won't hear that yet.
By now. We wouldn't hear about it now, but I think in terms of a business plan, or that they can do that while still being, discussing with the appeal process and whatever is going on. Because last time we got put on our registration embargo, that was while we were still, battling with the courts about if they had the right to try and deduct points from us in the 2023-2024 season when we ended up getting promoted. So, they haven't done that yet. I'm feeling pretty confident we won't get a registration embargo. That's just my gut feeling from how I've read every single, arbitration hearing and whatever I've read through. But obviously the point deduction will be felt. But I still feel pretty good we should be able to sign players.
I'm starting to get that point where I'm just not as stressed and as worried about it as I was. When I look at the first team that some of the people are, putting up in the chat, and even if it's Daka up front, you know what, in this league, it's just a team that is good enough to get top 6. So the worst case scenario for me in my head, approaching it from this point, is even if we finish with a 12-point embargo, the worst case scenario is we finish playoffs. And the worst case scenario, therefore, is that we don't make it through the playoffs, which is a season if we don't sign anybody and we got a 12-point embargo. I've got a lot of reasons to say, okay, well, you know what, you gave it a good shot. That's what you expect. And we've got lots more to be excited about after that. No more transfer embargo, no more deductions. So I just don't see it. Maybe people are going to take this in an arrogant way. Oh, Leicester City are arrogant, but it's the budgets. Even with parachute payments, our budgets are so much higher than teams like West Brom or Middlesbrough, which are the kind of fixtures that you kind of worry about. You know who your rivals are. We know quite a lot about them. We've yo-yoed with Southampton, for example, but those teams that you're tricky, Middlesbrough away, but those teams are really struggling themselves. That they've been hit hard by PSR2, and they don't have the money that they used to have. Middlesbrough used to have a decent striker in Latte Lath. They had to let him go. They've got Iheanacho sponsored by Nando's coming in at the moment. They have got our players that we didn't want anymore, and they're trying to move forward with those, which is why they're struggling. So I would just urge everyone, don't stress too much, don't worry too much. Even our team is, just benchmark it with having played Ipswich. We beat them once, we drew with them in the Premier League. We played Southampton twice, we beat them twice. We played QPR and absolutely hammered them. And so, I'm not too stressed.
This is what I would say, Doc, quickly, just responding to Anil's comment there, Doc. like last time we were relegated, you had like Leeds had the likes of Somerville and Rutter, right? I don't think there's any players like that now from those other teams that are on that level. Like I don't think Southampton have a player of Rutter's level. Me personally, I don't believe that.
I think we'll have. I still think our team will just more be a mix of our young youth combined with what we know as elite championship players, right? If we keep Mavididi, if we keep Fatawu, if we keep Justin, and Stalacic as well, I think is brilliant in the championship. Ricardo is Premier League level. There is no doubt about that in my mind if we keep him for one more year. So we'll have these star-studded players, these big-name players who are far too good for this division, I want to say. And then we have some youth who now has to show they can make the step up to be top-end championship as well, right? Because I don't think we'll be able to sign squad players in every single position. I forgot to include Skip in that. He has to be, for the fee we paid for him, a top-end championship player. But that's also what you need to remember. We might have a bigger budget, but look at where it's going. Is Patson Daka, who's on 5 times more money than any other striker in the league, 5 times better than anyone else in the league? No. So some of that money is still being spent poorly from past recruitment mistakes. And that's something we have to keep in mind as well. Is Jordan Ayew, who's on 3-4 times more than any other winger in the league, 3-4 times better. You don't get the same. There is diminishing return on the pound you spend on wages, of course. And some of our players are definitely that, right? They will be good to championship players, but they won't be 5 times better than anyone else despite being paid that.
I just want to bring this up quickly. So again, just some updated responses here. So yeah, we played Derby both times in December. Obviously,
Derby.
these ones we saw earlier. Looks good. So the party will be at Blackburn. I want to just come down to these things here. So there's a goal with Daishi. It's good to be back. Somebody said there's a hidden reply. I'm not going to open that one, but yeah. So there's it's not all doom and gloom, of course. There's some people who are a little bit more positive. I don't think the fixture list is bad at all. I don't think the fixture list is bad at all. There are some good periods there for sure. But yeah, I'm going to go around each of you before we end. I mean, Anil, sum it up, mate. How you feeling now? You know, we're a few days away from the big week. According to all the rumors and stuff. How you feeling?
I'm still quite worried because I think there's bad things brewing about. But I think it will still be an interesting season. Let's put it that way. And the fixtures, I think, I've been kind. It could have been much worse to start with. So we should hopefully have a good first month. Yeah,
Doc, mate, how are you feeling about everything?
I think our fixtures is really, really good. I couldn't have asked for more. I think it's good. We've got a slow start to catch up to the other teams who've actually been planning in June and not just been sitting on their ass. I'm looking forward to spend £140 to be able to watch the games on the video pass that left announced today. That'll be great. Thank you. That's great money spent as a uni student. And then yeah, I mean, I think we'll still be up there, but so much will depend on what happens in the next few weeks, right? Will we actually start running the club again, or will we just be sitting on our ass? That will obviously change my mood a lot depending on how I feel heading into the season. But the fixture list has done its job, and it's done so well.
Go on then, Manny. Give us your optimism. How are you feeling about everything?
I feel more optimistic after the fixture list got released. Now that the realisation is this is who we've got. When the start is good, the finish is good, and I'm just looking forward to Daniel Bame's debut in the first game against Sheffield Wednesday after we signed him. That would be great. A couple of the other new signings, it's just look at the scouting reports. We been linked with Mateus. Who is it? Mateus? Go on, Duck, you pronounce it for me. What's his name?
Who were we linked with? I don't know.
Mateus.
It's just a rumor. It's just a rumor. It's just a rumor.
Chris is not coming to us. I can guarantee you that, mate.
Oh,
but Doc thinks Ericsson would. I mean, the logic isn't adding up.
I think that's about the same chance they would both go there. The difference is
no, there's not. No, there's not.
That's 1%.
If you're not going to get excited about new signings, because let's say we don't get any, there's so much to get excited about with some of our youth coming through. We saw at the back end of the season, Jake Evans and Jeremy Monga. We know that the Cartwright and Aluko are behind them, and there's even more others than those guys. So I'm looking forward to getting them back. I'm looking forward to getting Ben Nelson back. That'll feel like a new signing. Getting Will Alves back will feel like a new signing. Lots to be excited about. I'm more concentrating now is that let's get some of the heavy paid dross old guys out of here.
Yeah, I agree. Jack says it's going to be strange without Vardy there, but excited to see what happens with the youth players. Common Boy says if Chowdhury getting offers from Olympiacos, why ain't we taking that? He is 27. David says Danny Roll first game against former club. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Paul says get the right experienced players to blend with the younger players. Leicester will be in the promotion mix. Still major concerns about the man in charge and who's going to be the designated captain and vice captain. I imagine it would be Ricardo if he stays. I imagine he would be the captain. Sure. He wore the armband quite a lot. And finally, Steve says, is it true our new sponsors are Temu? That is to say we won't get what we expect. Yeah, absolutely. Right, we're going to end it there. Thanks to the over 600 people watching. Much appreciated. Fixture release is always a big day. Now, as I've been saying for the last couple streams, the big week is approaching next week. Hopefully there's 5 emergency streams, one after another, and it's absolute chaos. Only time will tell. We'll find out very soon. Cheers to a
24-hour stream on July the 1st is probably the prediction.
It's tempting. But yeah, cheers to a 0. Cheers to Doc. Cheers to Manny. Thanks to everybody who's joined us in the chat. We will see you on Sunday live. There'll be a video out before then, but we'll see you live on Sunday morning at 9:30 for Good Morning Foxes. Cheers all. Bye bye. See you soon.